Hello everyone, hi, welcome to the channel of Wall Street Mojo. Watch the video till the end, and also if you are new to this channel, then you can subscribe us by clicking the bell icon. Friends, today we have a topic which is EBIT versus operating income. Well, we are well versed with the topic of EBIT. EBIT is your earning before interest and tax, and EBIT stands for your operating income. So it is a synonymous of with the operating profit of your company, right? And it does not takes into consideration the taxes part or the interest expense part. EBIT basically an indicator that has been used for calculating the company's profitability, and it can be measured by reducing the operating expense from the revenue. So EBIT is basically your revenue less the operating expense, right? And operating expenses include, like, rent of the company's premises, you have equipments that have been used, cost through inventory, marketing activities, paying employees wages, insurance, and funds allocated with the R&D part. It can be also be expressed something like this, that EBIT is equal to your net income plus interest plus taxes. So operating income can be described as the amount that can be converted into profit, and operating income is basically used to calculate the amount of the profit that has been gained by the company's operations, and it can be calculated by subtracting overall, what we say, expenses from the gross income. So operating income is equal to your gross income less operating expenses, and your gross income is equal to revenue less the COGS, that is the cost of goods sold. People tend to believe that EBIT and operating income are one and the same, but the major difference between the EBIT and the operating income is the EBIT also includes the non-operating income that the company generates, but in case of the operating income, only the income from the operations are taken into account. Let's understand this with the help of the infographics. The first part is the definition. EBIT is an indicator that is used for calculating the company's profitability, and operating income is used is calculate the amount of the profit that has been gained by company's operations. Right? What is exactly the usage? EBIT is used for profit making ability, and operating income is used for how much the revenue can be converted into profit. There's a very thin line of difference. The calculation, EBIT is revenue minus operating expenses, or EBIT is equal to net income, plus you need to add back this too, because this is from the debt holders point of view. They want their money back, so they want to consider whether you will be able to pay or not. And taxes is from the point of view of the government. Even government needs to be covered up. Operating income is your gross income less the operating expenses. Recognition. EBIT is not official GAAP, but operating income is considered as an official GAAP measure. Now, what is official GAAP? GAAP means your US GAAP, or maybe your IFRS, and so on and so forth. What are the adjustments that you need to go for? EBIT requires some adjustments to be made, like what we had learned here: interest and taxes that need to be added back, that are not accounted for, because we need to see that whether debt holders will be us, but the debt holders will see, the government will see whether their money is getting covered up from the EBIT. So they need to add back those two elements, but here there are no such adjustments that happen. Now what we'll try to do is that we'll try and understand some of the key differences between the EBIT and the operating income. First, one of the key differences between EBIT and the operating income is that operating income is non-operating income. Sorry, one of the key difference between EBIT and operating income is the non-operating income. So what you can see that EBIT also includes the non-operating income that the company generates along with the income from the company's operation, but operating income only includes the income flowing through the company's operations in its statement. Right. Second, EBIT is used as an indicator to find out the total profit making capability of the company. So if the company or the investor wants to know about the profit of the company is making, the statement can be used. On the other hand, the operating income is used to find out how much the company's revenue can be converted into profit. EBIT is not an official measure. You can say that EBIT is not an official measure according to the GAAP, and hence the companies used to make small changes to it, and they try to incorporate few other things so that the statement can be used for their purposes. Whereas the operating income is an official measure of GAAP, and hence it accurately is been shown, and the companies don't tinker with this. Fourth, with the EBIT, there are few adjustments that can be made for the factors that were not accounted for, so as to get a broader picture. And operating income is very different in that aspect, and as such no such adjustments are made so that it can strictly adhere to the guidelines proposed. Fifth, EBIT can be measured by reducing the operating expenses from the revenues, or by adding interests and taxes to the net income. So on the other hand, if you see, for the operating income, on the other hand, is calculated by subtracting overall expenses from the gross income. So what are the major difference between EBIT and operating income? We have already looked upon. The key differences has already been discussed. So based on this, let me finally come to a conclusion that when we look at EBIT versus operating income terms, they are almost the same in most of the cases. Since the difference are minimal, as only few adjustments are done in EBIT, while no adjustments are done in operating income, there is very little chance of any sort of huge non-recognizable differences when we compare with the operating income versus EBIT. So, companies and investors, they don't care much about operating income and EBIT, and EBIT is used, then this financial statement to analyze, because choosing the either one over the other will not make much difference. If it is differentiated for any official use or for official reporting, then it is officially recognized as operating income. The other, the EBIT, is not used. So that's it for this particular topic, EBIT versus operating income. So that's it for this particular topic. If you have learned and enjoyed watching this video, please like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.